Your general task help you achieve your necessary targets by breaking down your goals to make them actually achievable. How do people actually achieve their goals? There's a lot of videos on them, and people say things such as you got to stay motivated, you got to stay consistent, you got to all this other stuff. And I get that. But my problem has always been, you have to show me. I'm a visual person. Like, I need a roadmap. Like, you need to tell me to go right, then go left, then go left, then go right, turn around, go. And I recently figured out how to do that, because don't get me wrong, motivation is good and words of affirmation are good, but I literally need to know how to break it down and then build it back up. And so I'm going to show you guys a breakdown theory that I recently learned, and I've also recently used, so I can tell you guys that it definitely does work when it comes to breaking down any goal. Whether you're trying to lose weight, whether you're trying to make money, whether you're trying to start this business, anything you want to do, I'm going to show you guys how to achieve that thing and make sure that you are consistently achieving that thing, and that it's not just a fluke. It don't just happen once or twice. You can repeat it again and again and again. This is the goal breakdown theory, and here's what it looks like. Here's the first example I'm going to show you out of two. This one has to do with losing weight, and the other one I'm going to use the example of making money. So for this one, first, you start out with your major goal. So what is your major goal? And this is for a 30-day time period. You can adjust it to 60, 90, however you want. So if you're trying to lose 20 pounds in 1 month, right? 30 days. So there's 4 weeks in a month. I broke that up into these smaller quadrants. So your major goal is to lose 20 pounds, and your weekly targets are to lose 5 pounds. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 gets you to 20. Then you need to go over to the steps that are going to be required for you to get to your major goal. So good sleep, the food you eat, and exercise are just 3 main categories that I picked, right? So they're both, or all 3 of them, I should say, are going to get their own quadrants of how you're going to achieve these things. What messes up a lot of people is that you only get to the top. So you know you want to lose 20 pounds. You know you need to sleep more. You know you need to eat better. You know you need to exercise, but you never write down and figure out how to exactly achieve those things. So first, we start with sleep, right? It's recommended to get 8 hours of sleep. For women, it's actually recommended to get 8 to 9, but to each his own. So what are some of the things you're going to have to do to make sure you get sleep? You should have a bedtime. Hypothetically thinking, I said 10 p.m. because 8 hours of sleep, and I said wake up at 6 a.m. because that's 8 hours. But it shouldn't be a thing that's just saying bedtime. It should be specifically bedtime 10 p.m., wake up 6 a.m. Obviously, when you go more specifically into it, you can do things to help you. So maybe it's hard for you to go to sleep at 10 p.m. Maybe there are things that you have to take out. Maybe you need to stop being on your phone as much closer to your bedtime. Maybe you need to stop drinking caffeine close to your bedtime, or you need to wind down earlier. You figure out those specifics, but these are the major things you're going to have to do to get to this goal, which is going to help you get to your major goal. Next, exercise. You say, hey, I want to exercise. Okay, we need to break that down as well. When you exercise, how many days are you going to go to the gym a week? For this example, I said 4 days, but you can adjust it to however you want. I said for 1 day, you're going to have legs. For 1 day, you're going to have arms. For 1 day, you're going to have cardio. And for 1 day, you're going to have back, right? Don't just write that. Then, if you guys can see here, I know it's very fine print. Legs are Monday, arms are Tuesday, cardio is Wednesday, back is Thursday. You need to specifically write when you are going to be doing these things as well, right? It shouldn't just be oh, well, you know, I want to do legs one day and I want to, no, when you get to the gym as well, there's little dots under here as well. These, I only wrote one, but you can do specifically what you want. For example, for legs, I said the deadlifts, right? Whatever. Obviously, you could add more. I always tell people, disclaimer, when you're going to the gym and you're doing weights, you shouldn't do more than 4 to 5. Like, you shouldn't be doing 6, 7, 8, 9 machines. That's just a bit much, and you're probably not doing enough weights. Just a disclaimer. But I say that to say, so when you get to the gym, you literally already know what you're doing. The whole point of this is to break down your goals, so when you are literally doing that goal, which is for this one specifically exercising, you already know what you're doing. It should be no reason why you get to the gym and you're still on TikTok trying to figure out, oh, what workout to do. No, you need to have a save folder for legs, a save folder for arms, save for cardio, back, whatever the case may be. So when you go, you know specifically what you're doing, so you're not wasting time. And then also you don't get anxiety before you go of what am I going to do. Now, the next one is food. For this one, right, we're trying to lose weight. I put up just a fake hypothetical number. Let's say you have to eat 1,600 calories a day. And then also, how many grams of protein should you be drinking? I also should have added water. That's another thing. I know it's not food, but I should have added how much water you need to drink. I say that to say, of course, you don't just need to eat 1,600 random calories. You should be trying to eat healthy. Of course, you should try to figure out, just not random candy as protein and stuff like that. But the whole point is that you have a rough idea. What messes up a lot of people is that either you have no idea at all, right? So you're trying to figure out only how to lose 20 pounds. And because we all know you're supposed to be sleeping good, you're supposed to be getting good food, you're supposed to be exercising, but you never do this part. You never figure out how to achieve these things. Or what messes you up is that you start way smaller than this. So you over here like, okay, well, I have to eat this much vegetables a day, but I don't really eat vegetables. I have to eat da-da-da-da. Focus on the major things that are going to help you get to your major things. That's going to help you get to your major things. That's going to help you get to your large goal, right? And the great thing about this is, which I'm going to bring up in the next example as well, this helps keep you accountable. So when you are doing all of these things on a day-to-day, on a week-to-week basis, you should be losing 5 pounds. If we get to week 3 and we are not almost losing 15 pounds, we only lost 5 pounds, okay, that's when we go back to the drawing board, because we already know what we're doing. So maybe we need to look at it and be like, you know what? I haven't been eating 1,600 calories a day. That's what I need to work on. Or I haven't been eating enough protein a day. Or, you know what? I actually only went to the gym once a week. Or I'm only getting 4 hours of sleep a night, right? It's imperative that you write these things down so you know what you should be doing, but also to keep yourself accountable. Because what messes up a lot of us is that we don't have an accountability partner. We're not our own accountability partner. You don't know the last time you ate enough calories a day. You never even wrote down how many calories you're supposed to eat. You don't know the last time you got enough sleep at night, because you tell yourself, oh, I need to get 8 hours of sleep at night. And you go to sleep at 12, or you go to sleep at 1 in the morning, but you got work the next morning at 8. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. All I'm saying is, write it down so that it is achievable and so you can keep yourself aware. And yes, for here it says 5 pounds, but I also recommend to erase these, right? Ooh, don't want to top this over. Erase these and put in how many you lose each week, so you're actually accountable of what you're doing and not what you want to do. We all have a goal. We all want to do things, but we need to be realistic with ourselves and be honest with ourselves and see, what are we actually doing? So for this one, I wanted to show you guys the goal breakdown, but with money. I know math can sometimes become intimidating, but we all want to make money. So I think it's important for us to figure out how to actually achieve our money goals. So for this example, I said you want to make $10,000 a month, right? I broke it up into 4 quadrants because you have to figure out how much do you have to make a week. So that's 2.5K a week, 2,500, right? So once we figured out what our goal was, now we have to figure out what are the action steps necessary to get to that goal. So I just did hypotheticals. I said you can work, make $5,000. Let's say that's how much you make at work a month. Have a side hustle, you make $2,500, and then you have a business, you make $2,500, right? Now from work, it seems easy because it may seem like, okay, I work, duh. Like I know how much I make an hour. I know how much I make a week. But what also messes up a lot of people is that, yes, you may know, okay, if I make, I work 40 hours a week with $31 an hour, I make $1,250. But a lot of times people don't realize how minute taking off time, coming into work late, taking off, you get what I'm saying, different things like that can affect their check until the end of the month come, and they're like, dang, I was supposed to make 5,000, why do I only have 4,100? But then you realize you didn't work 40 hours a week every week, which is 160 hours a month, right? 40 times 4. I say that to say it's imperative to know, okay, every week I'm supposed to be making $1,250. So by the end of the second week, you should have made $2,500. If you did not, the good thing about this is you have 2 weeks left. Okay, so do you need to do overtime? Okay, do you need to make sure that you come to work on time every day, right? You need to figure out how are you going to supplement basically to make sure you get to the $5,000 a month. And like I said, that's important because what happens a lot of times is you wait to the end of the month. And another thing I recommend people to do is, yes, here I have them already, written in, but only write in what you make. So all of these actually should be empty. You should be making $1,250, but erase it because you actually have not made that money yet, if that makes any sense, right? So here it might only be $1,000 because that's all you made, right? So then you could add these two up. Okay, so this week I need to make so and so amount, and so on and so forth. For your side hustle, right? You should be making $625 a week, and that will get you to your $2,500 a month. The same thing. How are you going to be making that money? So these are just random examples. I said DoorDash, you can be making $12 an hour. Like I said, random. Amazon Flex, Instacart, makeup artist, $50 a client, $14 an hour, $18 an hour. The good thing about this as well is that you also could break it up. So let's say for the first week you have 3 clients. 50 times 3, that's $150. So subtract that from the $625 you're supposed to be making, and then you need to figure out what are you going to do to get the rest of the money. And the same thing, like I said with here, it shouldn't be anything in here. You know what you should be making, but these bubbles should be what you're actually making. What you really should be doing is only writing in the bubbles and then just adding everything in. So in the beginning of the month, you're gonna create this entire thing, and then as every week goes on, you're going to write it in. The same thing here with your business. Let's say hypothetically thinking you have a candle business, right? You sell candles for $15 each. That means to make $2,500, you need to sell 166 candles a month, which is 41 candles a week, right? That's another great thing to do, because what messes up a lot of people when they have businesses, they say, oh, I want to make $10,000 a month. I want to make so-and-so amount a month. How much is that a week? Oh, I don't know. How many sales is that of your products? I don't know. You need to figure out, because if you're on week 2 and you're supposed to, by the end of week 2, you should have sold 82 candles. If you've only sold 42 candles, then you need to figure out, okay, what's not working for me? Do I need to change marketing? Do I need to change my budget? What do I need to change? Because what happens with a lot of people, like I said, is we wait until the end of the month when you should have sold 166 candles and you only sold 50, and you're like, oh, what happened? If you do stuff like this and break it down, you'll know by week 2. Your week 2 of the month, that's half of the month. You should know by week 2, are things going well or are things not going well? And like I said, I really enjoy breaking everything down, because what most people do is only the top. You know what your goal is for the month. You want to make a certain amount of money, and then you say, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to work, I'm going to have my side hustle, I'm going to have my business. But then you don't do this part. You don't figure out how much from each do you have to make a week. You don't figure out how many sales you have to make. And then you also don't have nothing to keep track of it. It's a great thing to keep track of it, to actually figure out, am I going in the direction I'm supposed to be going to? Do I have to adjust this? Is 10K too much for me? If you're making $2,500 a month right now, $4,000 a month right now, 10K probably is a bit much. If you're making $4,000 a month, maybe we should try making $6,000 a month. If you get what I'm saying, like, you should be trying to set goals as far as doing more and making more, but don't make it to the point where it feels impossible. You do not want to make it too challenging for you, but it's also imperative that you break down. If you have a goal that you feel like you can't break down, and you're like, I can't break this down, I can't figure out how to do it, then it's not a goal for you. It's not attainable for you. Because if you do not know the necessary action steps to get to where you want to get to, you don't know what to do. So like I said before, I love this goal breakdown. Like I showed you the 2 examples, you can break down literally anything. Anything you want to break down, you can break down. And to me, it's pretty easy once you get into the swing of it and get into the hang of it. And like I said, you can adjust it, you can add things, you can take things away. But like I said before, you create this at the beginning of the month. You create the big bubbles, you create the things on the side. The little bubbles are what you add as you go on to figure out, am I getting to my goal? Am I achieving my goal or am I not? So as always, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me if you guys will use this. Tell me if you guys like this. Like I said, it is a lifesaver for me. I love it, but everything is to each his own. But thank y'all and have a great one.